Late night thoughts. Every day I'm just seeing it more and more. It's not even how hard you work. Yeah, hard work, persistence, pushing, endurance will overcome almost anything, but it's not even how hard you work, because you can work forever digging ditches and you're never going to move forward. It's not how hard you work. It's not even how smart you are, how many great ideas you have. It's not being afraid to take leaps of faith. It's those leaps of faith up to the next level that gets you to those incredible places. I was a completely starving artist for years, unnecessarily. I didn't need to be. When I finally took the guts to make a leap of faith, and I found two artists who were actually making a good living, and I picked their brains to try to figure out what they were doing, I figured out that they were doing things I don't like to do. They researched their shows. They didn't just sign up for every craft show. They carefully researched which ones were worth going to. And I hate research. I'm not good at it. I'm good at creative stuff. But I took a leap of faith, and I went to Starbucks with my computer, and I started typing in some stuff, and I forced myself to research for weeks. And suddenly, my income quadrupled in 2 months. Leaps of faith. I was only going to these higher end craft shows for about 6 months when suddenly I met this guy, Dante, who was traveling the world traveling the country doing state fairs. He wanted to know if I wanted to come with him. I was finally making decent money, paying for $50, $75, $100 shows. And he wanted me to take the little nest egg I'd finally saved up and throw it all into these $2,000, $3,000, 2-week-long shows. And travel to different states I've never been to, and go stay in a hotel with practically a total stranger. But I couldn't go back, so I took that leap of faith up to the next level. And 3 months from later, I had people I used to look up to just 3 months earlier now trying to borrow $200, $300, $400 from me because they couldn't make ends meet. And I had it for them. I wasn't sure it was a good idea to lend it to them, but I could literally lend it to them, and if they didn't pay me back, it didn't hurt me because I had just jumped to the next level and jumped to the next level. And then the idea of getting a kiosk in a mall, like malls are for rich people. You can't, little artists don't rent anything in a mall, but we did it for a couple different December holiday seasons. But then I was like, well, let's take it to the next level. Let's get a permanent place in the mall. Well, let's not just get a permanent place. Let's find the biggest mall in the United States and see if they'll take us. Not only did they take me, they gave me a prime spot. And next thing I knew, I had to hire people to help because there was just so much to do and so much cash flow. And then when I saw these video things and I saw other people just building so much stuff on this, I said, that's what I want to do next. That's what I want to do now. And I took tons of money, and here I was, I could finally make good money in these malls. And I said, no, I'm just not going to. And I spent a year not spending my time and money building up more money in what I finally knew was a successful venture. Instead, I threw it all into this new venture, into building this channel when nobody knew me. I was a nobody, and I spent hours and hours and hours making videos that hardly anybody would watch because that's what I wanted to do next. But that was a huge leap of faith. And like, I was going up, up, up. That felt like taking a nosedive down, but it wasn't, because in my brain, that was the next level up. But it sure didn't look like it for a good year and a half. Monetarily, I was going down. And then what happens? Out of nowhere, just when I finally move everything onto the internet, the whole world flips upside down. States everywhere, especially the one I'm in, get completely shut down, and people can't meet in person at all. The entire model I had built up is gone. And the only way people in art can make any money is online. And here I had just moved everything online just a few weeks before this all happened. But I had been building my online presence for a year and a half when it looked like it was a big, huge waste of time, and it wasn't giving me anything in return. And so that was a leap of faith. Hiring people for more than minimum wage, paying them more to get better workers. That's a leap of faith. I could barely pay for myself a couple years earlier. And then to be able to have multiple employees and pay them better than minimum wage And, you know, these are just little things for me. I'm looking at bigger things and bigger things. But what is holding you back? Are you afraid of signing up for a single craft sale? Some of you are afraid of what people will think of your art. Some of you are afraid to take that next step. Or maybe you're just afraid to get up early and work on it, or stay up late, or just try a new medium, or just throw yourself out there, or call that person that you're not sure you have kind of a weird relationship with, and you know one of you needs to fix it, but you're not sure who's going to make the step. What are you afraid of? Because it's not even the hard work that moves you to the next part of your life. It's not even like the grabbing life by the horns and pushing through and muscling it in. It's looking at what scares you the most about going to the next level and being like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to jump. These leaps of faith, they're scary, but they're exhilarating, and they're the only way to move forward. They're the only way to get to that next level and keep life exciting. So what is your next big leap of faith that you're like hesitating on? Just do it. Just jump off the high dive. Just take a deep breath, hold your nose, close your eyes, and jump. Let the cold water hit you. It's going to be a little shocking, but after you come back up and you swim around for a couple minutes, you're going to be like, why didn't I do this years earlier? Have a good night, guys.